When you make homemade pizza, you sometimes need a pizza pan, but in my house, I use a sheet pan. Now I'm gonna make a sheet pan pizza with a sun-dried tomato pesto, and it's really super simple. Now, first of all, get your sheet pan out, spray this with a little nonstick cooking spray. Then we went to the supermarket and got 2 balls of pre-made pizza dough. This is your supermarket shortcut. So we're going to get this out and pop it onto the sheet pan. Now, before I begin to spread this out, I'm going to coat my hands with a little olive oil. This is going to help because when I get into that dough, you don't want your hands and fingers sticking to the dough as you're spreading it out on the pizza pan. And then just start pushing it out to the edges. Now, it doesn't have to be a perfect square because you do want a little bit of a border around the crust so that it will hold the toppings. Now, once we get this all spread out, this is going to go into a 375-degree oven, and we're going to par bake it for about 12 to 15 minutes. So the pizza crust is par baked and now out of the oven cooling. We're going to caramelize some onions quickly before we make the topping. Now, I've already melted my butter. Get your onions inside. Be sure and spread these out into a nice thin layer and let these caramelize slowly. We want these to turn nice and amber brown, plus they'll reduce down and lose a lot of their liquid. So let's make the sun-dried tomato pesto, and this is super easy. We're going to get out our food processor and pop in our sun-dried tomatoes, 2 whole cloves of garlic, some Parmesan cheese, and a little salt. Now, we close the lid and get this going on a low speed until all of those ingredients begin to chop up and begin to form sort of a paste. There we go. Nice. Now I'll put it back on the low speed and drizzle my olive oil through the top. And that's done. And let's start building our sheet pan pizza. Now the ricotta cheese we spread over the top much the way you would a sauce if you were building a traditional pizza. Now, to this we're going to add our caramelized onions. Lots of flavors going on here. Some nice texture as well. Now, let's hit it with some Parmesan cheese. Then we hit it with some black pepper, some fresh cracked black pepper. Now let's get that sun-dried tomato pesto on top for lots of great flavor. Now again, this is something that we'll put on in dollops and then spread around a little bit. Don't get too worried about getting too perfect with it because it will all blend and melt together when we bake it off in the oven. Now we'll set this to the side and hit it with lots of mozzarella cheese and get this back into the oven until all the cheese is melted and this is bubbling and ready for dinner time.